Let's do this.
What do firefighting, active shooter drills, and school reunification have in common? They're all terrifyingly real. And now, thanks to virtual reality, they can also be virtually real before they're really real. Let's talk about how VR is revolutionizing training for staff, students, and first responders without the smoke, chaos, or misplaced clipboards. That's all coming up next on this episode of TiPS, Today in Public
Welcome
Safety.
to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's tips.
Welcome to TiPS, Today in Public Safety. This is Fletch, I'm an EMT and the Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I bring you the latest, most informative, and sometimes a bit controversial takes on emergency communications. Today, we're getting into how virtual reality is changing the game in training programs for first responders, and how your VR headset might be the best investment you make this year. Training used to mean binders, PowerPoint slides, and somebody yelling boom, all while you imagined a fire. But now, it's goggles on, game face ready, and full immersion mode, because virtual reality, or VR, has entered the chat. Let's break it down. Today's VR technology now allows you to simulate emergencies all in a hyper-realistic way. From the sound of gunfire echoing through a school hallway to the panic-inducing flash of a fire alarm in an otherwise pitch-black room. No more pretending. Now, you can actually experience it, but safely and whenever you want. Now here's where it gets cool and life-saving. Active shooter drills. VR allows you to create realistic, controlled simulations involving staff, students, public safety officials, and yes, even parents. You can teach them how to act before the panic sets in, and rehearse every variable from different entry points, shooter locations, or even response times. You can even practice what to do when the Wi-Fi drops, or if other normal mechanisms fail. Fire drills. From the dynamic mapping of egress routes by identifying blocked hallways, a patented feature of the 911 Inform platform, the trainees can learn the best way to go, where not to go, what not to do, and where to herd a pack of 8th graders without inducing chaos. Virtually simulated smoke, fire sounds, and even visual obstructions make it real enough to remember, but without anyone actually needing a fire extinguisher. Plus, by gamifying the environment, you promote self-learning with the student population, making it a challenge to be the best top score player. Ingress and wayfinding. Remember, getting in can be just as critical as getting out. VR lets you rehearse hallway navigation, rerouting around debris, and accessing secure areas in a virtual layout that exactly mirrors your facility. Got a blocked stairwell? Reroute in real time. A patented feature from 911 Inform. Reunification. This is an area where things usually fall apart in drills, but VR helps you simulate it. Migrate to an alternate facility. Taking accurate attendance mid-chaos. Parent notification workflows. And photo ID verification before pickup. All this without a single lost child or an angry parent holding up a line with a Karen-level meltdown. Infinite replayability. This is a really cool feature. You can run the same drill 50 different ways, changing one variable at a time and then watching how your response changes. This moves the whole scenario beyond training to a tactical strategy exercise in a headset. Muscle memory and merit badges. Repetition creates muscle memory, and when the muscles remember what to do, your brain doesn't have to catch up mid-crisis. By adding certificates for training completion, bam, you've got gamified, merit-based education, playback, and public awareness. With the entire event being recorded, you're able to review actions frame by frame for debrief, the creation of training materials, and even to show your school board why your funding request doesn't need another bake sale. It needs VR goggles. That's it for today's episode of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. Thanks so much for listening. For more updates and insights, remember to follow me on most social media platforms at Fletch911. And don't forget to visit 911tips.com for a complete archive of all of our previous episodes. Stay safe, thanks so much for listening. And if you're in public safety, thanks for what you do every day. I'll catch you next time. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. That's 911tips.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember to join us each week for the latest on NG 911. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. Catch me on Sirius XM on various channels, including 90s on 9, the 10th spot, and on the Weekend Countdown on Hits 1. Or don't regret it for the rest of your life. Either way, I'm good. TiPS is brought to you by 911 Inform, the leading next-generation 911 solution for enterprise compliance with federal 911 regulations. Visit them on the web at 911inform.com. 911 Inform, making every second count when it matters the most.